What is up, Brad Jacobson here, and all surfers love to get barreled, right? And if you're looking at it in a video, you're going, it looks super easy, but it's not as easy as it looks, and there's some tips and tricks to get you in the barrel easier and to spend more time in that barrel. Today I'm gonna be discussing those with you. Let's check it out. The perfect scenario for a surfer is drop in, bottom turn, pull in, get barreled, and sneak out, right? That's what we all want, but let me show you a couple different strategies for controlling your speed to get more barrels and spend more time in the barrel. This is Alex Gray, and he's one of the best at using his hands that I've ever shot with. Slows down, gets speed, slows it down again with the two hands, releases it, and then tries to slow up at the end. Let me slow this down to show you what happened. As he's dropping in, right, you're naturally going to pick up speed from the wave. The whole time he's looking down here to see what this section is going to do. Is this going to be fast? Is this going to be an easy one? So as you can see, he's using that backhand, his right hand, to dig into the water to not only slow him down, but also to help to lift the board up higher. Now right here, it takes both hands off. It looks like it's going to get really fast right in here. So he's like, okay, the speed of the wave is going to take me through this. Now leans both hands forward. He wants all his body weight up front. Obviously, that's going to give you more speed. He's far enough back that he's not going to dig the nose. So now he's fully digging this hand in. And then he's thinking, I better put this hand in as well to really not only slow him down, but his board is facing this direction. He still wants to pull that nose up to get up in here. So he's going to use the second hand now to bring that up. See how the nose slides as he does that? The nose of his board. Puts him into the spot. Now he's in a good spot. Both hands are going to come out of the water because he knows he needs to make this section. Now this whole thing has picked up. As he releases, comes through, gets through that section. Now he's putting his hand back out because in here he's still reading it. Realizes, okay, the barrel is kind of backing off right here. I want to get as much time in that barrel as I can. It's a very well-ridden wave by Alex Gray. This is Shane Magnuson pulling into a nice little barrel here. Getting the time and then now speeds up to get out at the very end and doggy-dooring it. That's a great overall ridden barrel, but let me show you something here, why it's important to slow down. Right there, he's starting to touch it, right? He's starting to touch the wall. He's using his hand to slow down. As he's using that wall to slow down, he's literally dragging his hand in that water to slow down, right? He wants to get that barrel in the perfect spot. Now, he's releasing here to get the speed to make through that section. And pulls it out. But really the impressive thing here is grabbing that wall of water to use it to slow down. He doesn't need to speed up here. He's in a good spot. And then it speeds up to barely sneak out that thing. That's an awesome barrel. So in this case, it's a smaller wave and he wants to slow down just to get into the barrel. You know, it's not necessarily, he wouldn't probably not have gotten into that barrel if he didn't do this two-handed stall. I mean, look, both hands are there grabbing that to get him right into that barrel. Because if he just came down without slowing down, he would have been so far ahead of this barrel. He would have been way out here. Another reason that people will do this is you see how the nose of his board is kind of facing straight. If you grab the water right there, it'll pull the board back up. So you'll watch as he starts to grab, that board just slightly moves up because he's grabbing the wave and it's pulling his whole body upwards and into the barrel position. It's a small barrel, right? But he still got barreled. Wouldn't have gotten barreled if he wouldn't have done this classic two-hand dragging in the wall of the water. In this circumstance, it's Alex Fry on the backhand, grabbing the wall of water to slow him down, give him as much time as possible with the release, need that speed to get out of there. And a celebration. He drops in, grabs both the rail and the water. He's looking ahead. How deep is this barrel going to be? Do I need to go fast or can I slow down? He wants to slow down. So you see all that water that he's holding. Grabbing, 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 grabbing. He's in the barrel. And now he's up high. So he's also moved himself up higher to get speed to come out of it. As he releases when he thinks he needs speed, it looks like it might be closing out here. He releases to get out of it. Now, the one thing is, could he have stayed in there and ridden it longer? We'll never know. But it's a great example of using that to slow down, get up in, spend as much time in that barrel as possible, and then release it when you need to get the speed to get out of it. This is Alex Gray doing something I very rarely see. It wasn't a great barrel, so it's not necessarily that. It got a little covered up on the inside, smacked in the head on the far inside. But I want you to take notice of his right hand and what he's doing right there. That is insane. First off, this is a pretty vertical drop, right? He digs his arm into the wave. He's grabbing. He's literally using the water to grab and pull the nose up so that it doesn't dig. That is awesome. That is so hard to do because when you have your hand that far in the water, it wants to jerk you all the way around. He's using that as a form of lifting the nose and getting him into the position. Pulls the left hand into the water now because he's got to stop. He knows there's not much of a barrel. So he's using a two-handed drag to slow down to get into a little bit of a barrel. It wasn't much. That is next level smart, and you're not going to see that happen very often. I really enjoy this one because you can see exactly what he's doing from this angle. You can see the arm dragging, the water flying around. He's slowing down, picking it up into the barrel, releases right there, and now he knows he needs speed to get out of it. Right out the get-go. He digs his hand into, right there's his hand. He's digging his hand into the water. He wants to slow that down, and he also wants to maneuver the board up. Just talking about the use for speed at this point. This whole time he's dragging. I mean, he's hooked his arm into the water. He's still got it there right in here. He's going, we can't see the release. But right here, he's feeling, okay, I've got this. I need a little more speed now. This is starting to pick up. He's going to release and just let the speed take him through that wave. This is Matt Pagan doing the complete opposite. Instead of stalling, he's on this smaller inside little barrel. He needs to gain speed to make it through this little weird small inside barrel, right? So what does he do? Instead of grabbing the water to slow down, he pushes the water. He's pushing off of the water, pushing off of the water to try to get as much speed as he can to try to make it through this little inside section. So this is just kind of giving you both sides of it. Sometimes you need to have a little bit more speed. Here is Kelly Zahn showing a good example on the backhand. Using that to slow down. You can't see his hand, but it's actually there. There's something special about this that I'll show it to you when I replay it. Out he comes. That's a great way to burst out of that closeout ending section there. One thing I want to notice is it's his hand. You can see his hand switching to grab right there. His shoulder is actually in that wave. Try to slow down as much as possible. Does not want to outrun that barrel. Now he's getting deep, and as he comes out of here, there's something I want you to notice. There's not a lot of spray coming off, right? Because his hand is just at his side. It's not actually digging in the wall anymore. He knows he needs to speed up because this thing is clamping down at the very end here. Out he comes. Now he's just, he got blasted, but he needed that little extra speed to kind of push him through that section and burst him out of the end there. That's a great ride by Kelly. This is Giuliano proving that you're not always grabbing the water for speed. I'll let it play through here first. It's not a great or epic barrel or anything like that. What I want to show is, let me take you to right about here. Before his hand gets into the water, board's facing this direction. It's kind of hard and difficult to maneuver this thing up high. He wants to be up in here. He wants to sneak into this barrel. The barrel's going to be up top, not out in the flats over here. So by digging his hand into the water, you'll see what happens to the nose of his board. Nose of his board now, as he just gets his hand in the water facing here, like I said, he needs it up here. Once he puts that in, boop, the board rotates up high. So by grabbing that, he's pulling himself up high where the barrel is and not out into the flats. Like I said, not a great barrel, but it's neat to see this and how it helps him pull him up higher to get at least a little bit of a barrel. The second part, he's just like, no, I want no part of that. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Brad Jacobson, and I'll see you on the sand.